5 spring or Easter projects are made for under $5. Hi, my name is Cindy, and I will show you how to make spring and Easter decor for under $5. So let me show you how. DIY number 1 is plaster of Paris trinket tray. And the supplies needed include a trinket tray mold, and that was $1.98 from Teal. Plaster of Paris, I used approximately $1 worth. Water, napkin, I would say that maybe 10 cents at the most. Mod Podge, I used about 5 cents worth, and rub-on transfer, 1 cent, and white acrylic paint, about 10 cents. I mixed 2 cups of plaster of Paris and 2 cups of water and just a little bit more into a large bowl. And the bowl I only use for my crafts. I mixed it until there were no lumps and the consistency of the mixture was smooth. And then all I did was I poured it into the mold and tapped it on the side until I saw a smooth bottom and without bubbles. And I left it overnight, and in the morning I removed the mold to find a beautiful white trinket tray. However, I painted it with white chalk paint, but I thought it needed a little something extra. A moderate amount of Mod Podge was put on the tray, and then I found a napkin that had a pink butterfly on it. And I removed the second ply and cut one of the beautiful butterflies out and laid it on the trinket tray. Now, in addition, I put the initial of my granddaughter on the butterfly, and I just decoupaged it in the middle of the tray. I completed the process by applying a second coat of Mod Podge, and that was after the first coat was dry. The butterfly is a reminder that spring is a good addition to your countertop or dressing room. It is styled very pretty. And since I had most of the supplies on hand, the cost for the trinket tray is about $3.24. And just kind of a little reminder, this is a custom made. Most of the time, these little trinket trays I see in the store, even at a place like Five Below, is $5. In your upscale stores, you will find that it will be $10, $15, maybe even $25. So let me know what you think about this one. DIY number 2 is a tea light holder. Now, the supplies you need include 1 glass bowl that was from Dollar Tree, and I had it on hand, so the time that I purchased it, it was $1. And I think they call them fish bowls. I had some dried flowers I got from Teal. This was the most expensive thing. It was $2.11, but I had a lot of flowers. Mod Podge was about 20 cents, and the tea light costs about 25 cents. But if you don't want to include it, I have plenty of those things that I've had for quite some time. And all you need to do is put a new battery in it every now and then. Now, this was such an easy project, and all you need are tweezers and a steady hand. Now, I applied matte Mod Podge to the glass globe and began removing the dried flowers from the packet. And then the flowers were put on the wet Mod Podge one at a time, and they were allowed to stick to the glass container. And the dried flowers were just randomly placed around the globe until most of it was covered, to my satisfaction anyway. And after that, I applied a second coat of Mod Podge. Now, I will say that when you start the process, it looks like a hot mess, but don't give up, because when it dries, it has a beautiful, beautiful opaque look. When you put the tea light in it, wow, it gives off a nice glow that has a moody vibe in the evening or night. Now, in addition, it also would look great with string lights inside. And I am so glad I made this globe light, because it looks more expensive than $3.56. And if I had flowers on hand, or if I dried the flowers myself, it would probably even be $2 and some change. So I think this is pretty. I have this in my bathroom and it is just simply beautiful. 5 Under 5 is hosted by Farm Charm Chic with the guest host Shannon Crafty DIYs. These women are not only great crafters, but beautiful and kind. So be sure to subscribe, like, save, comment on their channels. The link to the playlist is in the description box below. Now, there are other crafters that are really eager to show you their crafts, so please support us also. The link to the playlist is in the description box below. On to DIY number 3. This is a wall flower holder. The supplies needed include a succulent, that's 50 cents, bamboo cutting board, that was $1. I've had it for a very long time. A small picture frame, 50 cents, and green adhesive beads, about 25 cents worth. A wall pocket holder, that was the most expensive thing, $1.25. And hot glue I used about 5 cents worth, basically 1 stick, if that. I used what I had to keep the cost down below $5. Now, if you have been following me, I previously made this tray out of the bamboo cutting board, so it was already painted black. However, one of the handles had fallen off. This tray was perfect for this DIY, but I didn't glue the handle on again. However, I glued the wall pocket holder above the remaining handle that was left on the bamboo board. And then I placed some moss rocks into the bottom of the wall pocket holder and put a succulent inside. I love how this turned out, and this was such an easy DIY. Anyone can try it and put it anywhere and it will look great. And because the wall pocket is ceramic, you can put a real succulent in there with dirt and so forth. So it can go either way. Plus, you don't need a handle on the bamboo board. Because it was already there, I thought it looked nice, so I left it there. But I thought it needed something a little more. So I applied some small green beads around the bamboo board, and it looks stunning. Now, originally, I was going to paint the beads black, but the green just gave me that spring vibe and gave it an upscale look. The total cost for this DIY is $3.55. However, the only thing that I purchased was the wall pocket holder. I had all of the other items. It looks super. On to DIY number 4, a flower in a box. The supplies needed include a box, and I got this one on sale at Michael's when they were trying to get rid of all of their Christmas items, and so I paid 90 cents for it. And I also got the flower from Michael. It was 50 cents. plaster of Paris, $1. And white and pink acrylic paint, I would say I may have used 50 cents worth, but I already had it on hand. And the adhesive pearls were 75 cents. This DIY was made using a box that had a Christmas picture on the back side. But I'm not worried about that. I mixed up some plaster of Paris like I did with the Trinket Tray. However, I did not pour this one into a mold, but I took the flour that I had purchased and dipped it into the plaster mix. Now, sometimes it is difficult to get it just right because you have to dip the flour into the mixer several times, and it is a little bit messy, but doable. And you can wear gloves too if you don't want to get this all over your hands. This must be done before the mixture begins to harden, because if not, then you will have to make another batch. So you just dip it in 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then you just set it upright. Once that was put aside and drying, I painted the inside and the sides of the box and let it dry. And when the plaster of Paris had hardened on the flour, and it took a little bit, maybe I put a little bit too much on there, but it took a couple of days to dry. And once that happened, I painted the flour pink. At some point in time, I might paint it a lighter pink and trim the edges with gold, or maybe even put some glitter on the flour. I think that would be pretty. The edges were just rubbed with white acrylic paint, and I just did that with my finger. Glue, I placed that in the middle of the box, and the flour was placed inside. Now the total amount was a whopping $3.65. Now, I've seen something similar to this at Michael's, and it was like, I think, $12 or more. So $3.65 is not bad. And if you take away the items I already had, it would even be less than that. This is so pretty for spring or Easter, and it's very easy on the budget. So let me know what you think about this one. And on to the last DIY. This is probably one of my favorite, even though I like all of them. But this one is bird's nest wreath. The supplies needed include an oval picture frame, and my neighbor gave this to me free. And I have 2 of them, so I am going to work those the whole summer. I've got some other great ideas for the summer for these frames. Floral stem was only $1, and the bird's nest was $1. I had a friend who gave me a good deal on the floral stem and the bird's nest. And then the chicken wire I got from Amazon, I used about $1 worth, and I'll kind of explain that as I go along. And the ribbon, I found that on the floral stem, so I just said, hey, I'm going to use it. And the only other thing you need is a stapler and maybe a little bit of wire. So this looks complicated, but this is a easy, beautiful spring or Easter wreath, and can be hung anywhere in your home, even the front door. I purchased the chicken wire from Amazon, and I only used about 6 to 7 inches of it. So I turned the frame over, and I stapled the chicken wire to the back side and cut off the pointy edges. Now, I don't like sharp wires sticking me or messing up my walls, so I took a piece of cardboard and stapled that to the back side. Then I took a long wire stem and attached the floral piece to the chicken wire and frame. And then I threaded some wire through the bird's nest and attached that to my floral pick and made a bow that you see on the opposite side of the frame. This is so pretty. And the cardboard for the back was the very last thing that I did, and that was easy. You know, most people have a piece of cardboard around, and I just use an X-Acto knife and cut around it and scissors, and hey, you're all done. Now, what do you think of this DIY, YouTube family? This is, I think, so nice to show you how you can make spring and Easter DIYs without a lot of money. If you have liked these spring/Easter DIYs, please subscribe to my channel and join in the fun. And follow me on social media. It's Instagram, Threads, TikTok. I am still waiting for 1,500. When that happens, I will give a prize to one person who makes a comment on that video. So thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And remember, if you carry joy in your heart, you can heal any moment. This is from Carlos Santana. Okay, family, see you later. Bye-bye.